Let's wing this motherfucker. Oh, I'm gonna fuck up Chris's. Oh, hey,
We have topics.
we have topics.
Topics.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Time Spent Poorly program. You are here because you like to spend your time poorly.
If for no other reason, yeah.
Tonight's
Absolutely,
topics.
that's
What
the
are we going
reason.
to talk about? We're going to talk. Bruno wants us to talk for-profit prisons in America. Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll just throw that. That'll be a quick one.
Yeah.
Because America. Breaching the Snake River dams. We're going to throw that in there. Ward wants to talk about the Elks Club, which I am a member of now. The Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks.
Yes.
Google gobble.
I also want to talk about. I watched the news this morning. We'll just put it that way.
Oh,
I've
man.
got a.
Who watches the news
I've got
anymore?
Well, it was an accident. It wasn't intentional.
Just let it happen to him.
Yeah.
I slipped in the bathroom of my... Oh, yeah.
But I went to the Kevin Smith show last night also. So that was actually entertaining. I got a couple updates on that.
Yeah, Kevin
So.
Smith. And Jason Mewes.
Yeah, they were both there. It's pretty fun. Did you see that?
I did see
I posted
that.
that.
pretty
Yes, you
funny.
did. Yeah.
So.
Hey, welcome
But
to the
anyway,
program.
welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us. You can go to tspn.fun. Just get a couple things out of the way really quick. I want to. We're trying to up our presence on YouTube a little bit because we didn't really work that avenue very much before. It was just kind of like a landing spot. We'd stream to there, and then so we like all of our videos were out there. Now we're kind of like clipping stuff and putting it out there. And then also last month I started doing a Brewer's Advent calendar that my wife picked up for me from Costco, and I was doing a video for every day. I have one left to do. Obviously I didn't finish in time, but there's fun videos of that out there. So if you go to YouTube, go to the Time Spent Poorly. Is it just youtube.com/Time Spent Poorly?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. You can watch all those out there. Go out there, like them, subscribe, share, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. Just try to give us a hand where you can. That's
Yeah,
all
we
I'm
want
saying.
that YouTube money.
Yeah,
Bring
YouTube
it.
money.
We want to get paid for this someday.
Anyway,
Oh, I got to introduce our hosts, Derek and Eduardo.
Hey.
Yeah, how about these guys?
Yeah. Hey.
They're awesome.
if you look at the light, it's like you're making eye contact with the person that's watching this.
When I talk, you
Hello.
can see that I actually have a mouth.
That's true. Yeah, we've upped the quality of the video.
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah. It looks a lot better on the clips.
Yeah.
Just the clips in
lot
general.
sharper.
The clips in general are just, they're way better.
yeah,
Yeah.
graphic splashes.
Well, I mean, just the fact that they're shorter, they're
Yeah.
more digestible.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
do most of
We
them
need to, you gotta,
in a shit's worth of time.
yeah, that's the thing is you gotta watch, you gotta make it in a poop's worth. I always say that.
I spent a lot of time on the shitter.
Yeah.
Well, you
there's
can
some
watch
longer
whole
ones.
shows.
Read a whole novel.
I read To Kill a Mockingbird while pooping. Ward, one of the topics you wanted to talk about though was our dying town,
Yes.
Oh, man.
and I thought that when you messaged me about it, I was like, "Well, Rick will actually have really good insight on this because we've talked about the town quite a bit."
Well, and Rick has been.
town sucks.
Rick's been.
Rick's been
You kind of have your finger on the
I'm a
pulse of what's
mover and a
going on.
shaker. Nobody
far
knows
as-
who I am, but I know almost everyone.
You know what's going on though. You usually have information about what boats
I know
are
people
happening.
who
well,
know
you go on,
things.
you
Right.
go on the tours, and
Yeah.
you know, you see the stuff
and recognize people I went to high school with or grade school with, and they'd have no idea who I am.
because of the beard.
It's awesome. No, it doesn't even matter if I had the beard or not. People just, I am not a memorable person. Now I've got the beard, so everybody remembers me, but now I keep the beard because I am a mailman, and I'm the most recognizable mailman in town.
Well, you're not a female, man.
No, I am an MALEMAN.
Fucking stupid.
Somebody left me a Christmas card.
I'm honestly a
to
little
the-
ashamed of
the
myself for
mailman.
that joke.
Oh,
What would his
man.
pronoun be?
It's male. Is it? Well, he's a male mailman.
Right.
He's a male mailman.
Letter carrier. But no, letter carrier is the job title, but I'm actually a mailman. I walk through my neighborhood,
He's not a Vail man.
and I know what's going on, and I know my people, and my people like me.
Good. That's a big part of it.
Even the dogs like me.
Customer service is a big part of that job.
Customer service is just about the only thing I've done my entire life. I hate it, but I'm really good at it.
So within the span of the year, we've lost Shopko. We've lost Kmart. These are no big deal to me. Macy's. None of these places I went to very often. But
Nobody
it's impactful.
went to these places very often.
But it's impactful to some people.
I did go
Well,
to Macy's.
Macy's alone was 50 jobs. Yeah. That's the only thing that worries me is where are these people going to find work at?
Right.
Well, nowhere.
Right.
That's the answer.
No, well, Taco Bell's always hiring.
Yay.
Hiring smiles.
So, but yesterday, I went to Spokane. I went to the Kevin Smith show, and we watched that. It was a great show. But we stayed in Spokane, and we don't like do a whole lot in the area, but we kind of walk around downtown and stuff. And there's stuff to do. There's things going on, and obviously Spokane is much larger than where we live.
Spokane is weird though because it's so sprawling.
Right.
They have some tall buildings, but it just keeps going and going. So, I mean, like the heart of downtown where people park and
Like
mingle
River
and
Park
stuff.
Square and
yeah,
shit, yeah.
That's hot property.
Right.
But outside, I'm sure it's just little Lewiston's all around it.
Right.
Shit's closing, shit's moving.
You think so? That's probably true.
I would.
Well, on the
I would think
outskirts,
so.
yeah. I know they have done they've done a lot of that regentrification of stuff. Like when, I think we did talk about it on another show, but when you come off the overpass by Dick's Burgers there, that used to be like the hub where the homeless would like beg for money. Then they built a bunch of fucking statues where they would stand, so you can't stand there anymore. So
Now they sleep in the underpasses or the overpass, like in the little
Well, they
walkways.
stay
Yeah,
at least.
I mean,
For now, they sleep there.
they get
The
busted
local
up from
government
time to
will-
time.
Yeah, the local government will find a way to put a stop.
like every
to
once
that.
in a while,
Yeah.
we'll drive through and they'll be like, "Oh, there's nobody here."
right.
It's because they went and they've like
Well,
like,
it's super cold
cleared
too,
it
so
out.
some of them will die.
but some of them will die. Yes.
Well,
It's population.
that's a real
control.
thing, actually.
Right? No, I know.
They're not even counted on the census, so
I was thinking about that though when
Sad.
we were going down through there one day, and I was like just watching people. Like I just kind of gazed at a couple homeless people, and I was like, "Man, what a tough fucking life." Like I mean,
Well, yeah.
unless you're mentally ill, in my opinion, homelessness is kind of a choice. You can go and get a job just about anywhere,
right.
and if you fill out paperwork, the government will give you money. And we're talking Spokane, so that's the state of Washington. They will take care of you if you make an effort.
Yeah, it's mental illness and obviously drugs,
Oh yeah,
which plays into mental illness. So
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, I'm definitely not empathizing by any means, or sympathizing, I guess.
this guy right here.
But I would say it's definitely, like you said, it's something that is in many ways a choice to be homeless.
We've got one guy here in town that he goes down to Portland for a jaunt yearly and is homeless. He is a professional homeless person. I think. He was working for one of the local news outlets, doing a piece. Well, it's more than one piece, kind of like a column type of thing. It might have been like Daily Fly or something like that. Yeah.
But he does it as a
he's-
career? Is it like
Well, he just goes down there and he's homeless.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does for money. His mom lives here, and he comes back up here on occasion. I think he just lives a couple blocks from me. His mom does. I can't imagine being a professional homeless person.
no, it doesn't sound fun.
I don't like weather changes. It's either like if it's too hot or if it's too cold. Like I like the comfort of being in my home where I can regulate the temperature and the environment around me.
The thermostat is
Yeah.
Monte
Great
Marble.
invention. Thank you for that. Whoever did that, whenever Dad did that.
So in my hotel this morning, I woke up to the news, and I don't because I don't have cable anymore. I don't have any. So any of my news sources usually comes in the form of like online clips and stuff, and I probably don't watch get as much information as I should. But so I'm listening to the news because it's waking me up. The TV stayed on all night, and so I kind of look over, and it's like they're almost like Valley girls delivering the news. They're young. They're just millennials.
That's the local.
Yeah, the local news.
Spokane.
Yeah,
news.
it's the local Spokane news. But they're very, they're well dressed, professional sounding,
attractive,
and then the weatherman's gay, and he's like, just some of the stuff that they were talking about. He's like, they were talking about Build-A-Bear, and then he's talking about this Build-A-Bear that he had. But the clothes on the Build-A-Bear were so rough, they took the clothes off the Build-A-Bear and like cuddled with it naked when he was a kid. Like, because he was talking about being a kid. Like, these references that they're able to make about being a kid, like, them being a kid isn't that fucking long ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, the kids, they look like they're fucking 12 on the TV. They got really young voices. So that they're both, so...
to get your start in a market like Spokane is pretty sweet because normally people have to start in a market like ours.
And then move
and
on, yeah.
If you have an iota of talent, like your pinky toenail has an itty bitty bit of talent, you are fucking gone.
Yeah.
Because they only like people that can't read and have no personality.
Boy, they love people who can't read on ours.
They add letters to words and it's totally changes the meaning of the word when you change the letters.
Did I tell you this story before where I actually interviewed and tried? There was a guy, I can't remember his name, but he did he was trying to start a UHF channel over in Clarkston.
Oh,
you remember about this?
I remember. He was on 6th Street.
Yeah.
And what's there now? Is that one of Finch's places now?
Yeah, probably. It's like a vape store or something, or I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it probably is a vape store. That's not one of
Probably a vape store, yeah.
but
vaping's not cool, kids. Don't let them talk you into
It's
it.
dumb.
It's really dumb.
So I went down there, and it's like their setup was really close to what we have here, and while it might look beautiful on tape to the viewer.
What year was that? Like 05, 06?
God,
07?
I made headshots.
I worked at the cable company at the time, and I hooked up their internet.
It might have been 9 or 10.
Oh, well, I didn't work at the cable company then. But when they were first getting started, I hooked up their internet.
It could have been 05, but
no, I don't remember how long.
I think
no,
it was while I was working for Budweiser.
Oh, okay.
So I had gotten a email or something. They wanted me to come down for an interview, and I did like the interview, and then they wanted me to like get headshots. So I'm standing in my living room.
Were you on
downstairs?
Did you at any point were you sitting on a couch?
Did they massage your leg?
No.
Did they ask you? Could you undo that one button right there? Yeah.
Bend over and take them off slowly.
I took my own headshots with a tripod.
Casting couch.
And I had like I just threw on like a dress shirt and I think a tie, but I was just wearing a dress shirt. Didn't like I was standing in my underwear because I'd come home from work, so I tossed a dress shirt on and like got a headshot. Looks, I think it's on my computer somewhere.
Please find it and put it online.
No.
Oh, excuse me.
I have to hunt too hard. I don't want to. So anyway, I sent them the headshots. This was before the podcast, so it must have been like 06, 07.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. So I sent them the headshots. They brought me down for a test interview. So they had me test read.
Live read.
So I sat down and they gave me this paper, this news article to read. I still remember it. It was, they were talking about, I don't remember it that well, I guess. A camel, I think, that had 2 heads. And so I'm reading the article, and then the whole point is to be able to do like yes and shit, and to be able to kind of like commiserate and talk. So after you read the article, then you kind of turn to your co-anchor and you're like, blah, 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 blah. And then they kind of go back. And so my thing was, well, 2 heads are better than 1. And then I stop for a second and I go, that's about all I got. And then they're like,
Tom
all
with
right,
the weather.
they were super nice. And then I was out of there. They didn't go with me, obviously. But it's okay
Well,
because they're not there anymore.
I would say they didn't go with anyone because that did not become a thing.
No, it did for a brief period of time. There was,
was
a UHF
super
channel,
brief, and no
was,
one watched
like,
it.
Almost momentary. Like,
Does anybody have a TV that can pick up UHF anymore? I don't.
I do have a TV that I can watch the film UHF with.
he had a huge.
Weird
Who
Al.
wants to drink out of the fire hose?
He
I
had a
love
huge
that
pitch
movie.
for
Dude, it's a
UHF
great
too.
movie.
I don't remember what his whole thing was for it, but he had like some sort of like knowledgeable like pitch that's like
Weird Al's
selling
a
the
super
idea
smoke
of
guy.
it.
A su-
Well, he
super
No, it
smoke
wasn't
guy.
Weird Al. It was the guy that started that business. Or the,
the local guy?
He probably
Really?
had worked for.
He's like, there's a
Clue or
future in this
something.
that's coming back. Like, basically, I'm like, I don't know.
Did he go into the Wayne's World theme song right after that?
He probably worked for Clue at one point though, and like had some knowledge of the industry.
Right. Well, and I don't think at that particular point in time, we all knew. Like, I'm sure some people knew, but I don't think streaming was on the forefront of everybody's mind, and being able to stream most of your
Not
content.
really, because webcams were expensive and cumbersome,
And Netflix still wasn't really. Netflix was still mailing DVDs at that point.
And yeah,
So I mean, it wasn't really.
I don't think there's really streaming.
It just
At
kind
all.
of
Because Hulu, when did Hulu come out? I mean, even that was. Remember when it was still ad free? Well, not ad free, but free.
yeah. Hulu was what 2010,
10?
something like that.
man, you got the interwebs right in front of you.
I guess.
Yeah, fuck it. Don't look it up. That takes so much time.
I have no idea.
So UHF is not a thing.
No,
No.
and it will never be a thing again.
No, no.
Well, maybe after the collapse of civilization. We've got back up to black and white TVs.
Ward, you could be a reporter in the apocalyptic times. Hey, this is Ward reporting here for this UHF station. People are still eating each other, and I'm growing another arm.
But really, you know where that's going to be? A radio. It's not going to be video.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which you will make a cleaning.
Yeah, because the apocalypse is going to be so lucrative.
People are still going to want their mail
You'll be
too.
on the CB radio with your sweet, sexy voice. Anybody out there? This is Rick.
This is the
The man hall.
Yeah.
This is the beard. This is Derek and Eduardo. Here, listen to Tongue Spit. And we're like, remember Kevin Spacey?
I'd go up to Clue and try out. I would go up there, but I'd need to shave, and I'm not going to do that.
Ward, I have, before we move on to a topic that is actually good, I do want to
Tell
tell
us
you.
the story again, Ward, about when you tried out for a UHF
want to tell you
station.
about a experience that I had that was not similar but feels similar.
Netflix started streaming in 2007.
Okay.
You know, I applied for a job once, and I had an interview, and I didn't get it. One time. Oh, no, twice. But one time, the first time when I was really desperate, Kmart.
Oh.
I applied and interviewed at Kmart, and they didn't hire me.
Well, fuck them. They're closed.
And that's the reason
Why wouldn't they hire a guy like me? I'm a hard fucking worker.
How does it make sense?
It doesn't make any sense.
I was dead set on getting hired at like Blockbuster when I moved over here.
Oh, man.
I was like, this
It's a dream job, man.
and my parents always like the pragmatic ones were like, well, I mean, maybe try some grocery stores and stuff. Fuck that, I'm gonna work at Blockbuster. So I didn't work for like 6 months before I finally like caved and went to Pizza Hut.
Oh,
Well, you know
the
what?
Pizza Hut days.
I applied for. I had 3 friends that worked at Hollywood Video, and I applied for several jobs at Hollywood Video.
Because you could be a know-it-all douchebag, just like everybody
Yeah,
else.
just like them. And I could not land a job there. And actually, there's one other place I could not land a job at that I for whatever reason, I probably just my 20s seemed like a good idea. I applied for Hastings so many times.
I applied for
Really?
Hastings and
Could not get a job there.
I've known a bunch of people that
probably
worked at
showered
Hastings.
too much.
That's what I thought too. Because I went to the interview and it went really poorly. And as I was leaving the interview, I was like, so I guess I bathed too much. Like this didn't go well again. This didn't go well. Like I said to the manager I was interviewing with, I said this didn't go well again. So did I bathe too much or do I brush my teeth? Like what's going on? Like do I need to not brush my teeth and smell like shit to get a job here?
You need some black cavities.
Yeah.
You need holes in your teeth.
Because
you need to be missing some of your 4 front teeth because that meth mouth is what they're looking for.
Because I never
hit
understood
rock
it.
bottom, and now you want to you want to make the
And
best
I
of this.
wanted to work there. I wanted to work
Now,
at
see, that's the
Hastings.
thing. You were motivated. They don't hire motivated people because motivated people don't stick around.
Right.
They get that job, they make that money, and then they're looking for what's next. And I
Stepping
think
stone work
I do believe that is why Kmart didn't hire me. Is like, wow, this guy is had
looking at this as a stepping
careers
stone,
and. They didn't know I was unemployed for 10 months and I was really getting desperate for a job.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I wanted to work at Hastings so bad. I was like 20, 21 years old. And I applied there several times in between the age of 19 and 22. I applied there a ton and could not land a job there. Could not get a job at fucking Hastings. And I was like,
Too
all right.
motivated.
Yeah.
They were like, this guy is bound,
And I was like-
destined for bigger and better things.
It was just weird. I'm like, because they're like, well, what department would you want to work in? I'm like, any of these. I read books. I read comic books. I watch movies. I play video games.
They might still be open if they'd hired you.
Any of this stuff here.
You may have become complacent and felt comfortable where you were.
Sure.
You could work in any department and small talk people. And it isn't like a job when you're doing something you love.
Yeah. Which I
And
liked all the stuff
you-
there.
Could really get used to that $5.50 an hour.
Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, I'm glad I didn't get a job there because
Fuck yeah.
it was a terrible company and they went tits up. But I mean, I would have done great there.
I loved how they tried to hold on for the last couple of years, and it was just like, and I'll say this, but I have a ton of these things, but they basically became a Funko Pop store.
Yeah.
And then because they couldn't rent movies anymore because other than like the people that like couldn't find what they were looking for at Redbox.
But our store didn't have issues, right? Financially.
No, our store would have. Yeah, our store was doing pretty good. So was the Moscow one.
Yeah, the company went tits up.
Yeah.
It wasn't our store because we don't have anything like that here.
That was the only thing since Book and Game, and I miss Book and Game.
Yeah, me too.
Well, and I was making fun of the pop store thing. I mean, that's what I went to Hastings to look at after they stopped doing movies.
Well, and I went there and I would look at.
Shut up.
I would look at. They had a great graphic novel
This is where you
section.
make eye contact with the camera and shit.
No, I looked down over here to see if I could find one of those stupid Funko things. I can't believe people spend money on that stuff.
I did for.
I spent money on stupid stuff, but that kind of shit.
My son likes to keep them in the box. I take them out because I'm like, if I'm going to have them, I'm going to display them.
I think we're past the time when you like a collectible like that,
They make so
shut
many
the fuck
of
up,
them.
Rick.
They make so many of them.
You're not going to have the first run of Star Wars toys.
Right.
If you still had that shit in the box, that's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
All this stuff is mass produced, and you got a bunch of sweaties hoarding it up. It's never gonna be worth it.
I had a lot of those pop figurines for a long time. Owning the comic book store opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. I had a lot of that stuff, but as you know, when I opened the store, I sold my stuff. I mean, I opened that store with my inventory.
Yeah, you sold your shit to stay open.
I opened my comic book store with what I owned to start selling first while I waited for my first orders to come in. Like I sold my stuff. So I ended up selling a ton of shit of my own at that store. And as I sold the stuff, at first when I would sell something, I'd be like, yeah, that's too bad. I mean, I liked that thing, but I wanted to stay open. But as I started selling more stuff, I was like, well, when I eventually don't do this anymore, it'll be nice to not have all this crap.
To move the fuck around, unless you're settled in a house that you're not planning to leave.
Right.
Because then you just acquire shit. And if you collect stuff like that,
That's
it fills up
tchotchke shit
twice.
that your kids have to fucking get rid of later.
And I feel like I still have a lot of stuff. A lot of the stuff that I've kept now, though, like if you guys ever watch sports program, you can see like a lot of my jerseys and stuff hanging behind me. But a lot of stuff I have now is clothing, which is like jerseys. But I can wear all that stuff.
Exactly.
Like after I was thinking about, like, I wore this jersey today, which was hanging on my wall for the show, and I was like, I'm gonna wear that today. And then I'm like, the last time I wore a jersey here for the show, I was like, I'm just gonna hang it in my closet. This is going in the rotation. Like, this is going in the rotation of what I wear now.
Nice.
And so that kind of stuff, I can justify because I'm like, I'll wear it. I'll wear it out. I'll wear it around. But the stuff like the pop vinyls and stuff, I'm like, I don't really want that anymore. I don't want.
It's a money sink.
Yeah, it is.
You'd be better off buying guns.
I'm not a gun guy,
You can
but
turn
I
around
get
and
it.
sell them.
I'm not a gun guy, but I get
I
it.
like guns.
My dad got my son's
22s. What a guy.
They're Henrys too.
Yeah.
Octagon barrels or octagon barrels.
That is
They're pretty
a
nice.
kingly gift.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of these.
Yeah, I
Empty
get.
action. Move it over here.
What's up?
Centralized
Move
is
it over
good.
here.
He's the engineer. You can make him work.
Oh,
Get a second bag.
I could. There's more.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go, baby.
All right. Let's
Brick
talk
and mortar
about
stores.
town.
Brick and mortar stores just can't stay open.
No.
I cannot tell you. Well, when's the last time I went to Macy's? What's the last thing I bought at Macy's? Probably a dress shirt and a tie.
Well,
8 years ago.
let's hang tight for a second. You work. You're a postal worker.
Yes.
Do you remember years and years ago? It was a long time ago, before Amazon took off. There was a brief window there where the United States Postal Service was really hit hard. Basically, in between the time of invention of email to when we started shipping shit.
Is that somewhat mythical though? Is some of that like
The only reason the post office is not in the black is because the government forced us to pre-fund a health care for people who aren't even born yet. We have billions of dollars. The
Right.
post office has billions of dollars saved up for health care and
Right.
retirement for people that don't even work at the post office.
Right. But there was a time I remember back in the 90s, there was a time when the post office was like, I mean, you'd see it on the news where it was like they had suffered quite a bit from basically everybody like being like, oh, I think this email will be a thing. So they started sending emails.
Yeah.
But
I think
so-
it's a scare thing too though, isn't it to some degree?
Oh yeah, but
Because you're adapting as time progresses.
it'll be interesting once the boomer generation dies off, because Christmas cards, birthday cards, the whole Hallmark,
Sure.
Era.
yeah,
Is gonna
it
die.
is still a thing.
Yeah.
And I know I have a few younger friends who still mail out Christmas cards with pictures of their kids and things like that. Man, I got Facebook. I saw a picture
Right.
of kids. I don't need to get into it.
Well, I mean, I remember, like I said,
They're
But
gonna
I
start
prefer to
they're
get it in
gonna
the mail
start-
because you pay postage and that pays my job.
They're going to start bringing some of that stuff back though, because people are going back to like old traditions.
They are.
Like my wife just bought 2 boxes of like handmade cards,
Nice.
which are really cool. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
And then pay 55 cents a piece
And
to
then you're gonna- yeah.
ship them off to your loved ones, and they'll be delivered with love by someone like me.
And
Well, I
they'll
remember-
look at them and then they'll drop them.
Well, I remember my mom in the 90s.
If you get if you get the address wrong, a guy like me can fix that.
Nice. I remember my mom in the 90s would send letters to people because she'd be like, we got to keep them in business. Like, because it was like on the news. It'd just be like, hey, the post office is suffering. I mean, I think at one point there was layoffs. I mean, it was a long time ago. But then, I mean, obviously with eBay.
Well, some post offices have closed.
Sure.
They just consolidated.
Right, you're right.
But eBay is like the first
servicing
one.
larger.
the package volume, it increases by over 50% every year. We deliver more packages every year, and
Well, if I
It's
go on
insanity.
my Amazon account that I opened in 2007 at the same time that Netflix and Hulu started streaming, you can see there's a thing that you can look at to see how you trend. In 2007, I'm like, oh, I spent this much money, and then it just like exponentially goes up every year.
yeah.
Well, I talk to people who are all the time. I'm like, hey, do you ever watch do you ever watch this thing on Amazon Prime? And they're like, well, I don't really use my Amazon Prime. And I'm like, oh, but you have Amazon Prime? And they're like, well, yeah, for the shipping.
Yeah.
it does save you a little bit of money, but you need to take advantage of all of the perks.
Yeah.
Prime
I use
is
all
an
the stuff.
amazing thing.
Yeah, I
they
use all
have
the
some quality programming.
For what you pay for that, it's like I think it's like $119 a year now. The free shipping is almost secondary to the content that I watch.
They have
on there.
so much HBO stuff. I was still paying for HBO Now to watch The Wire, and then I stopped watching The Wire, canceled HBO, and went back to Prime because that's the only thing I have. Oh, well, I got Disney Plus, but Prime has all of the episodes of The Wire.
Yeah.
Why was I paying $15 a month to HBO when Prime would give it to me for what my old lady's already paid for?
I love Prime shipping because it's the time too, though, right?
It really is, because they will fuck you if you don't have it.
Yeah.
It's just your package will leave Florida and it'll be in limbo for days.
Yeah. Well, because you find stuff on, if you don't, let's say you don't have
Like
Prime.
a sticker on the box that says
You find
not Prime.
something
Fuck
that
this guy.
says, even if you have Prime, let's say you find something that's like $11, right? And then you're like, well, I can get it Prime for like $18, but this one's $11, but it's $5.99 for shipping. But the $5.99 shipping is like 5 days.
It's
out.
gonna take extra.
That's at least 5 days.
Or I can go Prime and get it for the 18, and I get it in 2 days.
Once Spokane is up and cranking it out, that
That's
facility,
going to change a lot.
we'll get it next day. They'll seriously have it next day.
Yeah.
Because Amazon will have a dedicated truck that comes down here,
Yeah.
and
Don't they have their own planes now?
they've got their own everything. I am really surprised that Bezos, is it Bezos?
Yeah.
Is that's how you pronounce it?
I think.
Bezos?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Jeff Bezos.
I'm surprised he didn't just outright buy FedEx
Oh, sure.
and start using FedEx as his private shipping company.
Well, fuck, I worked for FedEx as a loader, and I would say 75 to 80% of the packages I loaded on those trucks had Amazon.
And now Amazon isn't doing any FedEx.
No, they're not. They're not.
It's UPS, and the
UPS and
Postal
USPS,
Service.
right?
Yep.
What happened to DHL? They're not here anymore, are they?
No, I get a few DHL packages.
Boy, I haven't seen.
And then
one
you
in
got to
years.
flip them around and find out where the Delcon, the delivery confirmation scan is, because it's only on one side, but they put the
I think the last time I got something from DHL was when I bought something from like New
Is the
Egg
bulk-
or
and
something
usually
like
have to sign for it.
that. Yeah.
Is the bulk of the stuff you deliver? I mean, you used to deliver a lot of Amazon though.
No, really, the bulk of stuff I deliver is stuff that people send through the Postal Service.
Okay.
Because
Postal
you
Service
get
works
it-
on Sundays now.
Postal Service worked in Sundays for over 3 years now.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know because I've gotten deliveries on Sunday.
Well, so I
But
think what's-
Sunday is Amazon only.
Right.
But I
okay.
think-
Unless it's Christmas season, and then it's all the parcels we can get out the door.
I
Just
think,
trying to keep
but
it.
I
Just
think a
trying to
big
stay
part
on
of that
top of
though is the fact that it's like, okay, well, Amazon, like I can order all this stuff from Amazon. I'm going to send a letter too. Like, look how fast it is. I might as well send a letter.
Really, the return time, when I was an assistant and I'd carry all over town, I picked up an outgoing letter in Clarkston and put it in the outgoing mail. It gets thrown in a bin. At 6 o'clock, it boards the semi. It goes to Spokane. It goes through the machines. And then I was on a different route in Lewiston, and I delivered the one I picked up the next day.
Wow. So they all go to Spokane still.
Oh, yeah, everything goes to Spokane. Because it goes to, all of your letters go through a machine, and the machine does the sorting. Your magazines and stuff, guys like me sort those in a bookcase every morning.
Okay.
And then we pull it all down and put it in a tray, and we go deliver it.
Go deliver.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally like sending stuff through the mail still. The only thing I hate about the mail, obviously, is the junk mail. You know, you still get that crap.
No, junk mail will follow you beyond your death.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have a in our garage. There's the stair rail that's got like the corner there. I have a board sitting across it now that just kind of got set there, but now it's like my junk mail catch, so I can just set it there and get it to the shredder
Nice.
instead of having it go in my house and stack up. Yeah. So it's a short stop for my junk mail.
Yeah.
That's the end of that segment.
Oh, wait, not quite.
Okay.
Public service announcement. If you get junk mail, look at it. If it says pre-sort standard and you put return to sender on it, we're going to put it back in your mailbox because it doesn't get returned to sender because they didn't pay enough postage for it to be returned.
That good to know.
That's good to know.
That's
I don't
gotta be.
return
That's gotta
anything.
be. That's gonna be.
I've only had to explain it to a couple people because normally people just throw it away.
That's an old timer thing, I think.
And also, if it says current resident and you put it back saying
Passive-aggressive
someone
dick
isn't
old-timer
there,
thing.
you are the current resident if you collect mail at this place. Don't make me throw it away because I can't.
Yeah.
It would be a felony.
Just throw it away.
Just throw it away yourself.
Yeah.
End of segment.
If my mail says current resident, it automatically just goes in the trash.
Yeah, if it says someone's name who's not you or current resident, you get in some fights with some customers when they try to put it back and oh no, they don't live here. Well, let me scratch out that name and circle current resident because obviously you live here.
You are the current.
If you're collecting mail out of the mailbox, it's yours. If it's not yours, you're committing a felony.
I remember I'd see you when I lived in the Breyer building. I'd see you in there, and then I'd see you.
I love that route.
Then I'd see you on my at my store, like sometimes twice in a day.
Those were good days because I had somewhere to stop and it didn't look like I was doing something bad.
I miss those days, though.
Me too.
Yeah,
Only a little bit.
yeah.
I like making more money and not having to work Sundays.
Yeah, yeah. It was still a fun time, though.
That was great.
Have you come in and watched a little bit of The Office with us?
Yes. Talk to those tattoo guys.
Talk to the cool guys.
Oh, yeah, totally cool. I don't have any tattoos, so I don't have anything in common with those guys.
Cool dudes. They're fun, though. They're always watching Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
So
Prisons.
the brick and mortar stores, though.
Yeah.
So they're obviously not making it because of, I think, honestly, because of the delivery. I mean, like, Walmart's going to make it because Walmart's trying to get into the whole...
They're throwing their hat in that.
Yeah, they're working on
Amazon.
it. Yeah, they're working on it, yeah.
It's all about convenience. It comes down to convenience. Do I need to leave the house to get my ass wiped? No, you don't need to leave the house. Costco will deliver it the next day. They'll deliver you enough to last 3 months.
Yeah. I mean, I do not go to Walmart, but my uncle does the app where they'll bring it out to your car. And they'll bring out your order, what you got.
Does
I've
he
never
do
done
food
anything
shopping there? I don't do.
I wouldn't let
don't go to
somebody
Walmart.
select produce for me.
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty picky about my produce. And if I drop a cucumber on the floor,
I got to
pick it up.
squeeze those melons. Hot take.
Well, if I drop a cucumber on the floor and it like hits the floor and bruises, I'm not picking it up because I don't want somebody else to take it home.
They're going to put it right
step
back
on
in
it.
there.
So step on it.
That's true. That's a good point. I should step.
Beat it against the floor. And then pretend you're
Should I
autistic
stick
or
it up my
something.
ass much?
All right.
Why does this cucumber smell like shit?
All right. For-profit prisons. I don't really have an opinion on for-profit prisons. You're going to have to help me out on this. I don't know much about it, to be honest.
I was going to play devil's advocate and go
Is it-
America because really,
Is
a
it every
for-profit, really,
prison for-profit?
a lot of people think that prison is a place where people go to be incarcerated because they did a no-no and that maybe they'd get some help and turn themselves around. But for-profit prisons are all about recidivism. And they keep people in the cycle.
In the system, yeah.
Yeah.
We need you back in.
Yeah, because we get X amount of dollars to have your head in that bed. And we don't have to feed you very well. We don't have to offer you medical treatment.
In a lot of cases, you'll do a function that will help us make money. Yeah. A lot of people who work in prisons they're work prisons. They make a product.
They stamp out license plates.
Mm-hmm.
But no, really, a lot of things shouldn't be privatized. And
Yeah.
that's getting awful political.
Yeah.
I have libertarian leanings,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of things I'm really conservative about. I'm not going to explain any of them right now. But prisons, seriously, a prison is for people who have done wrong, and our tax money should pay for programs to maybe
Rehabilitate, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, why don't you just kill them?
Yeah, if we're looking
if
for people to go back in, I mean, yeah, I'd say my argument would be to
eliminate them. If these people have gone in, have gone through lots of therapy or workforce training or whatever to become a productive member of society as we've laid down the ground rules, and they can't do it, do we really want to pay to just make them disappear for a while?
Right. Yeah.
And then don't get me started about the
death penalty.
the abnormal number of African Americans who are in the prison system.
Oh,
Because they get in there and they just stay there
Yeah. Yeah.
because they're all white judges.
Oh yeah. They are all right. All white?
A white. As the driven snow,
End
Derek.
of segment. That's how we're going to end segments now.
That was a bit. I know. That was a bit.
I know.
You need to cut it right at all white?
Thanks for suggesting that one, Bruno. We have no idea what we're talking about in this
That
situation.
was a good bit, right?
Yeah, no,
It was a great bit.
Yeah, they are all right. All white?
all right. All right.
They're all right.
All right.
All white?
So,
Hot button issues. Breaching the dams on the Snake River. That one's close to home. Seriously, they paid $750,000 to do a study. What would happen if we breached the dams on the Snake River? Well, the economy would lose $2.3 billion. Mm-hmm. And that isn't some random faraway economy. That's the economy of the inland Northwest. That keeps all of these diesel pusher trucks off the road, off the highways and things like that, because we don't have the train infrastructure to move the products, because we're here, like I said, in the inland Northwest, and we grow a lot of food. There are farmers fucking everywhere around us. The Microsoft Windows picture was taken, like 25 miles away.
Oh, okay.
That field, that rolling green field with the clouds and stuff. That is so... $2.3 billion in our economy is a lot of fucking money.
Well, how many dams do they want to breach?
4.
So which ones are they?
Little Goose, Lower Granite. I don't know if they go to Ice Harbor.
what's the positive impact?
It might
Proposed positive
might help the salmon and steelhead runs. But there are other things to look at. The overfishing by the Japanese when these game fish get out to the open ocean and something like 5 miles off the coast. Seals, sea lions, and predators. We should have a bounty on them like we have on squawfish or northern pike minnow.
Yeah, the
Excuse me.
predation will increase. It'll be like
Yeah, and there's all these lazy seals just waiting around to harvest all our fish. We can't even fish for these fish.
Right.
Fish.
Yeah. We can't fish for these fish.
More beer. Yeah. There are so many other factors affecting them. How about the carbon footprint from generating the electricity that carbon-free, neutral hydroelectric power generates? We have the cheapest electric rates anywhere in the United States, and probably pretty close to anywhere in the world, unless you've got nuclear. I don't know how expensive that is. But hydroelectric power is as cheap as it gets because the water's going to keep flowing, unless Nestle bottles it all up.
end of segment. No, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
I'm having fun saying end of segment.
Yeah.
Elks Club.
What about the Elks Club?
I want to. It's always been something. My father-in-law, who's now passed away, was a member of the Elks.
Has Brody died?
No. He's my stepfather-in-law. Well,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, my wife's biological dad.
Oh, okay.
My wife.
Yeah.
That was a fucking brain fuck right there.
So he used to be a member of the Elks Club, and when I was young, I was like, I don't know why anybody would ever want to do something like this. But give me your pitch, because as I get older, I get more lonely.
A lot of it's been disappointing to me.
Has it been?
I joined because my grandfather moved back to town. Before he left town, he was an Elks member of the local lodge for 29 years. And now he's recently come back, and he wanted to rejoin, and he wanted my brother and I to join with him, and we have. We do 2 lodge meetings a month. When we joined, there were just under 700 members, and now they're just over 700 members. And since we joined, we are the only non-officer type people to continually go to meetings. For most people, it's a place for cheap booze, karaoke, and dancing. Especially since the Clarkson Moose Lodge closed. They had a huge... Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So is it a place...
Dude, it's
so
been a
you
couple months now.
You take your ladies there?
You can, yeah. Not for lodge night.
Right.
But also, it's a fraternal organization, but now women are welcome and in positions of power.
I didn't know that
Interesting.
Moose Lodge closed.
They weren't following the bylaws of the National Moose Organization, and they weren't keeping up with keeping non-members out or having special situations for non-members.
Okay.
And it's just a no-no. To be a part of one of those organizations, there are rules, and you have to follow those rules, and they didn't. Which is unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
But really great for the Elks Lodge, because the Elks is a great building.
That's where we had our wedding reception there.
Oh, I bet that was kick-ass.
That was awesome. Yeah.
They just
I
have
think-
all those windows.
Yeah.
I think growing up, one of my school, I think a lot of my school dances were in that building.
They have an athletic center in the basement
I
with
didn't know that.
regulation, handball, racquetball courts,
Oh, wow.
a pool. It all needs some work because it's underutilized.
Sure.
Right.
But seriously, their Avista utility bill is $2,200 a month.
Wow.
It fucking floored me. Like, wow, my $97 when it's cold out.
Well,
It's a
Idaho
huge building.
Forest Group has their Christmas party there, and that's been the first time I'd been there in a long time, because Bree worked there the last couple years, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great party there.
Yeah, and if you're a member, they have a liquor license, and their pours are strong. And
Well, you know,
can go
and
out
even
there
for
and drunk cheap.
even for her Christmas party there, what they kept it super cheap for us, and it was fun.
So what are your
Those-
issues with it?
I don't have any issues.
Oh, I thought you said.
That the rank and file people don't attend meetings. They do a lot of great community things. This isn't an issue. They buy truckloads of dictionaries and pass them out to local schools. But if you aren't in a leadership position or looking to hold a leadership position, nobody really participates. It's really disappointing. You have the meeting in this great big room, and there's no one in it.
Does the guard not change very often either?
I'm not sure. I think it just passes around.
So
I've only been in 2.5 months.
people they pay their dues and they just kind of like, but you show up for the meetings.
Oh yeah,
But
people pay their
but there's
dues, but they just show up
just over
for
700 people.
meals, and because they've got a restaurant out there.
They do the event
It's
stuff, but
really
they don't
good.
show up for the meetings and stuff. Is what then that's where you're disappointed.
Yeah, that they don't participate in the organization as a whole.
Right.
Well, maybe they're stagnant. I mean, they're bored. Been doing it. Maybe a lot of them. That's why I asked about changing
They're
the
old.
guard. Like they've been doing it for a long time.
They're all
maybe. And
Like
What's the demographic right now? Like,
Old.
are you young?
Yeah,
That was one of the things that I was like.
Hudson and I probably dropped the average age of people who attend meetings by at least a decade and a half.
Oh, wow.
If not 2 full decades. And that's just an average between the gray hairs and 30-somethings.
I knew somebody who was an Eagles member, and I considered joining because they asked me if I would want a sponsorship. Is that the same with the Elks? You gotta have a sponsorship.
Oh, you got to have a sponsor, and you got to go through an initiation, and it's awkward. But
the Eagles was the same way.
Awkward how?
you got to
Off air
do
or
the chants and all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
You got to do the sign of the Elks and all that. I can't share it here.
Are you a Freemason? I mean, it's something it's interesting to me. I've always liked the idea of it, though, because it's a cheap membership for drinking, basically.
I'm a chauvinist. I was really disappointed that they allowed women into all those things because it's a fraternal organization.
If you don't mind me asking, what are your dues?
I think it's $90 a month. We just voted to raise it, or not a month, a year.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
90 a month's a steep.
Yeah, it's really steep.
90 a
That
year
would
is
be
not
ridiculous.
bad. Even if
Yeah.
it was 120 a year, that's 10
Well,
bucks
and
a month.
then lodge nights, every other Tuesday, they've got some manner of buffet dinner that's only $10.
Now that you're in, can you sponsor me to get in?
I totally can.
That'd be fun.
Oh, and that's a goal of every good elk in good standing is to find more recruits.
We got to become recruits.
We might be Elks members.
We have to be Elks members.
Man, I'm gonna crush it. I have so many people that want
What
me to
if you
make that.
brought in 2 people from your show? I mean, it'd be fun. But we won't do the Elks chant here, though.
Not here, but you
No.
gotta totally just. It's something to witness. They play the organ music and you walk around in circles.
Wow, okay. That's cool. No, I know. I had heavily. So the person that I knew who was in the Eagles Lodge. So how it came about was that I was playing darts, and one of the nights that I played darts, I went to the Eagles Lodge in Clarkston. And they had great dart boards. It was actually just a great setup in general. Fun dart night there. And I was like, this could be fun. Like, this could be cool. And one of my friends who I had talked to about it, who was an Eagles member, was like, well, if you're interested, I can sponsor you. And I was like, well, I mean, like, I am interested, but at the same time, I'm not, because I'm not 197 years old. But my friend who was in it is not also 187 years old. But the only reason why I ended up not doing it is because the Elks Lodge, because he was a member of the Elks Lodge in Lewiston, still smoking. I'm like,
Eagles.
Or
Eagles.
Eagles,
Yeah. And
sorry, Eagles.
the smoking is a turn off.
Still smoking in Lewiston. He's not an Eagles member in Clarkston, but he still got his Eagles rates there when we were doing that.
Is it still
Well,
smoking now?
with
in
my
Lewiston?
Yeah.
They're still smoking.
with my ID card, I can go to an Elks Lodge anywhere in the country and show that I'm a member, and they will take care of me. And then you get to go back to the meeting and tell them about how, oh yeah, I was in Grand Rapids and I saw these people and I gave the sign of the Elks and we were all cool. We got drunk and had a good time.
That's fine.
And I think they have got some kind of award yearly about whoever's traveled the farthest.
Oh, cool.
Visited a chapter somewhere else.
Is
So
it-
it's like a motorcycle club without the jacket and a lot more old people.
Is it fun though?
It's always fun for me because I like to drink.
Are you
yeah.
are you
And-
utilizing it for anything other than drinking?
Oh yeah, the food is really good because they've got a full scale restaurant out there. But no, I'm not utilizing it for anything more than that.
You don't use like the activity center or anything like that.
Well, it's you pay extra for the gym membership, but it's reasonable, especially compared to gym memberships. And you're not going to have any randos; they're all going to be
Members.
fellow members,
Yeah.
and it's underutilized.
Meaning is no one in there.
It reminds
You can go in there
thought
and
of it,
You can go work out by yourself.
the thought of
You
it
can have an
reminds
entire
me of
handball
the
court, so you can have
timeshare that
two,
we
yeah.
inherited from my wife's father. We have a timeshare up at Stone Ridge.
Wow.
And so our week is always at the end of April, which is coming off of a cleaning week. So they clean everything like top to bottom for a week. Like nobody's in it. And then we're in it after they've like gone through and like.
That's pretty fat.
It's nice, but it's coming in it's end of April. The weather's unpredictable. So you don't know like what's going to happen. It used to include the golf course access. Now you have to pay to golf. And then they've done stuff. They've done updates because they want to keep it available for their old clientele. They put in elevators and stuff. And so then your dues or your fees go up.
That timeshare thing is going to die eventually. It's got to.
It's tough because we'll go there and the tennis courts are all like cracked and old. And so like everything's kind of like falling apart. But you can see them like trying to keep it together. Like they made
It costs
the pool
way too much money
salt
to
water instead of chlorine.
maintain things that people don't use.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing.
and
It's
that's-
like they had the mini golf course, nobody's using it, but so there's no real reason to update it or make it more contemporary or do any of that stuff. Kids are like the thing that they need that they need to get on right now is internet. Their internet connection is poor out there, which as a person that, when you're watching, like if you're sitting down at night, I like to stream content. We like brought DVDs and stuff before, so it didn't really bother us then. But if you're bringing kids want to play video games and shit.
Yeah.
And so their internet connection's so shitty. Like the kids don't know what to do between playing video games and going to the pool. They don't know how to play fucking racquetball. I like racquetball though.
Racquetball is a
That's
hoot.
a fun
and see,
game.
well, I grew up with my grandpa being an Elks member and going out there to play racquetball. And
That's my wife. She was really like that. She's the one that taught me how to play, and I was like, "This is fun."
The racquetball's cool.
it's a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, it's like two-person tennis, but you're not on the opposite side of each other.
Yeah, you're in a little box
It is
basically.
fun though. It's a fun time, and
Why didn't you walk under that ladder?
Because you don't walk under ladders.
It's bad luck, right?
you would have to get on all fours to walk under that fucking ladder. The guy's like 6'4".
He's not 6'4". He's 6'1". Let's talk about his height while he's out there peeing.
He's 6'2".
You think so?
6'2".
How tall are you? You're 6'3"?
6'3".
Okay.
What are you?
6'2" on a good day.
On a
I'm
good
6. I'm like 6'1" and a half.
I'm like-
I'll go to. Okay, so
I'm
This is our
6'3".
height bit.
I'm 6'3" when I could actually stand 6'3". But I will say my fatness
pulls you
makes
down.
me shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, you're. Yeah, when
But
I.
also because of my fatness, it makes me still functional. As a fat person, the height makes you functional.
Right. Right.
Well, remember I sent you the bit this weekend that I was rooting for the Chiefs because Andy Reid and I have the same body type.
No, I didn't see that.
No, I thought I did. Okay, so I've been saying, maybe it was Zach. I told Zach, I'm like, I'm rooting for the Chiefs this weekend because Andy Reid and I have the same body type. Because he's 6'3",
Yeah.
and he's a big guy.
How tall are you, Rick?
6.
6 even?
6 even.
You have like an inch of snow in your beard already.
You didn't tell me it was snowing like a motherfucker
Yeah.
out there.
It's coming down.
It's
It did.
No, it is seriously coming down out
Since
there.
you've joined the Elks, how many? Because you said you're going to make a killing. How many people have approached you about becoming members?
5,
Five?
including you two.
Young people like
Yeah.
young.
My age
Young
category.
compared to them, though.
Right.
They're compared to the rest of the people.
Do you
that are there.
think
people that
do
are
you
a little
think there-
younger and people that are a little older.
Do you think there's a potential for a renaissance for that type of?
Just because of their unique situation, the Elks is a spectacular building and location, and they have a liquor license and a kitchen that makes good food.
Do you think that people that our age though that are looking for like? I went through like a quasi midlife crisis last year when I started playing hockey.
I'm getting close.
You're looking for something more. And so that's kind of like, I mean, like...
Really, you could jump into this thing and run it after 5 years.
Yeah. Not looking for that much more. But, yeah, I know what you're saying.
It is snowing really, really hard outside.
Is it bad?
Open that door and look. You can hear the snow hitting
I'm going to have to do more than open the door in a second here. I still don't like there's no ability to take a dump out there.
I'm sick of winter.
I need one of those 5-gallon Home Depot buckets.
Well, I need to hook a bidet up to it.
Oh yeah, fancy. It's just this garden hose. It's just this garden hose. One stream.
That'd be too cold. I don't have warm water in my bidet, but
Did you
garden
get a bidet?
hose. I've had a bidet for years now.
Oh my goodness.
I save a buttload on toilet paper, and I feel so fresh.
You bidet.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's the best decision I have ever made.
I know a few people that have the bidet and they say the same stuff.
Oh my god. Well, a lot of food doesn't agree with me, so I spend a lot of time on the shitter. And just wiping dry paper over your shit out asshole, it gets old.
Yeah.
See, and I
You
consider
need
myself,
water to hose that off and then dry.
What's funny is I consider myself a progressive because we buy wipes. We literally buy wipes.
We have wipes. Yeah.
You are everything that's wrong with America, because those wipes aren't biodegradable and they fuck up our sewer system.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't tell you what I do with those wipes.
Do you throw them in the trash?
No, I flush them.
Yeah, you suck.
They say flushable,
But they're lying. They are fucking liars.
Only one per flush. I just believe what
I do believe what it says. The one per flush. I do believe that. Sorry, man. Here's what happened.
Same page.
Here's what happened.
When I wipe my ass, my hands don't come in contact with feces. It doesn't happen
Well, mine doesn't either.
because
'cause
it's
I use,
all
like-
hosed off.
Okay.
Right.
No, when you wipe your ass, there is a thin layer of paper or maybe cotton or whatever the fuck those wipes are made out of that isn't biodegradable or...
I use my wife's clothing.
I've used a washcloth now and then.
Huh? Give me that blouse I hate. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Nathan. Nathan, he gets the wipes. That's what happened. So I went to Nathan's house and I took a dump there, and I saw he had the flushable wipes there, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." So I used the toilet paper, and then I used the one wipe because it said one wipe per flush, and I was like, "This is,
I feel clean."
This I'm not even kidding. In my head, I was like, "This is different." I haven't looked back since.
Come use my toilet and use the bidet.
It was like the first time I went to a friend's house after
I
using
can't use
like
a friend's bidet.
the one ply
yeah, you can.
Costco paper, not
I've had 2 people go and buy bidets after using my toilet.
Jesus.
But only 2. Because most people won't even try it. They're like, oh, I don't want a jet of water on my anus. No, you totally do. Because it blasts the poop away.
On Saturday, I'm going to be at your house and be like, I'm here to shit. Here to shit.
I'll be at work.
But you'll be like, go for it, though.
I'll come Sunday.
Oh, no.
I'll come Sunday.
We got to set up a webcam and all that. Ward's first time with a bidet.
Ooh, oh.
A lot of people think it's European or something like. No, it's for people that don't like to get shit on their hands.
So for OCD, like autistic people. Okay.
I do a little wiggle. The jet hits everything. I grab a couple squares dry. When I wipe, those squares are clean. Not a brown streak to be had, or green, or black, or anything.
Yeah.
Whatever color your dookie is.
So I grew up in a poor household, so we always had like the Costco one ply, not the stuff that they sell now. The big package of stuff that they sell now is pretty good. That's what we have.
One ply is ridiculous because you just wad it
Right,
up.
and it's 2 ply. But my parents had the stuff that was like the
see-through.
It's the shit they put in like school buildings.
Yeah.
Shit, and it's like wrapped in a paper.
You have to use an entire roll just to wipe your ass once.
And so we had that, and so then I like just by habit and out of kind of like monetary necessity, I would buy that and I would use that. But I went to a friend's house and they had like the fucking Charmin.
I only buy Charmin.
And I was like, oh, this is a different fucking experience altogether.
And I only use Charmin to dry myself because I'm already
Really
clean.
going to town out there.
Yeah.
Dude, like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer?
Have a safe drive.
I don't want to work tomorrow. I'm so tired of walking in the ice and snow. And now there's a bunch of snow on the ice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. So you don't know
The
where
first
to
day,
flip.
the first day is great because fresh snow gives you a lot of traction. But the second day,
Right.
if it hasn't all melted off, all of
Then
my
you're
footprints
skidding all
are
over
now
the- yeah.
ice.
Yeah.
Well, I know what sucks is there was so much dry. When I left work today, there was so much dry spots. You know, it was like, oh, we're seeing the end of it.
I know after
Not
2
though.
days.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're like, oh man, look at all this dry spots.
It's the
on
new
the
normal.
road. This is nice.
Climate change.
Oh, that's
We never used to get
that's
snow that
just a
stuck
bunch
around.
of hoo-ha, right?
That's liberal thinking,
Yeah.
libtards.
No, it's happening. I don't remember
Have you
like
guys watched?
about this time of year when I was a kid. This would be like the time of year where we're like, okay, things are done,
yeah.
and then like
And now we get
ready
snow
for,
through March.
Yeah,
have you guys watched
Because-
Medical Police on?
I've watched
Netflix?
an episode.
Did you watch Children's Hospital?
I'm aware of Children's Hospital. I watched like a couple episodes of it,
Okay.
so I know
Is
that
Rob
it's kind of
Corddry
like
in
a
that?
spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's one of the producers for Medical Police. It's a spin-off. It's literally a spin-off of
Yeah.
Children's Hospital. They say it in the first episode, actually. What's great. But there's one joke in there. It's like, this isn't like global warming. You can't just wish it away.
I always go back to George Carlin when I think about global warming. If we're really damaging the,
The Earth's
planet,
just gonna like shake
shake us
itself.
off like
Yeah.
a bad case of fleas.
I think of that same thing for
the Earth will always be here, barring
We might not
asteroid
be,
impact.
right.
No, we won't be.
Yeah, the Earth will make it out okay at the end of it.
We are random happenstance. So enjoy your time, America. And not just
it's
America,
eye-opening.
Earthlings, enjoy your time. That sounded really jihadi.
It's eye opening when you watch like the Neil deGrasse Tyson. What's that one?
That was the beard talking. Oh, let me take off my hat. Let the head talk.
What's the show that Neil deGrasse Tyson Cosmos?
Yeah.
And he puts it into perspective for you, and he's like, "This is all of time," and like it's just like the whole thing, like a. I don't remember what it was, but it's like basically a chalkboard, and we're like a dot on the chalkboard.
It's a
Yeah.
blip.
yeah. So
Imagine how many advanced civilizations have probably risen and fallen out there in the universe somewhere because there is so
aliens
much
don't
more.
exist.
What is it? Isn't that even like a plot in...
Because God created man 2,000 years ago.
Right.
Isn't
well, no,
that like-
2020 years ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that even like
Well,
a...
5,000 years ago, really.
Like
Some
Ultron,
kind of
the-
go.
yeah, I don't know.
like Ultron, isn't like the whole point of like Ultron is like when they're like, you need to save the Earth, and he's like, okay, I'll save the Earth, and he starts killing humans, and it's like,
Because we're the worst thing.
yeah.
We're
I think that
a
happens
virus or a
The
parasite.
day the Earth stood still is also the kind of the same kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I'm here to save the Earth from you. You're garbage.
We are. We just exploit and defecate.
Oh yeah. And make plastic bags.
And on that note, this has been Time Spent Poorly.
It's snowing like a motherfucker outside.
Gotta get these guys home.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Smash
Wrap it
that
up.
like button, and really, we want some of that YouTube money. We think that eventually it's going to start rolling in, and then we'll buy new cameras. Dude, they've been talking about this owl camera that will...
Yeah.
It's a fucking robot.
It does a thing. It's a robot.
Yeah. We need like a GoFundMe. Like,
It's in the works.
they can just send us money
We're
to
doing it.
improve
We're
the
working on a
podcast.
Patreon.
So we're working on a Patreon. We're gonna work on a Patreon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Help us make money to get an owl. It would make the show better. It would.
wanna be-
Especially if
be
there were 4 people for it to choose
viral.
from, and then we could try to mess with it.
That would be
And we
fun.
could name the owl.
we're all talking over each other. Yeah.
Our mateys, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
What?
Our mateys, right?
Oh, the owl from,
Aramedes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we name it, right?
Clash of the Titans.
That's
Clash of
right.
Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that I read or I saw that Sam Worthington didn't like that owl.
Sam Worthington is
What a
hard
dick.
C. He was just another one of those Australian actors that they wanted to. But this is the outro. Congratulations, you have witnessed I Spent Poorly.
You've
and
made it.
You should
Thank you.
totally
Follow us on Twitter. Look up there.
Oh, it's right here. And it's right there. And it's right there.
Don't make it hard.
I'm helping.
All right. Thanks.
They've
again.
got eyes.
Thanks, everybody.
Later.
Peace.